Hey class, good afternoon and welcome to Introductory Psychology. I am your host and your instructor for this course. I'm John Chansey. Hopefully you're in the right place. I record weekly videos at the beginning of each week and send them out. So this is the first of many videos that I'm going to send out. I was trying to record a video where you could see the D2L and see my face at the same time, but that was just not working out. So I apologize. You're just going to have to rely and kind of just hear me verbally and maybe walk yourself through the D2L website. So anyways, this is Introductory Psychology. I'm just going to briefly, talk a little bit about myself, and then I'll talk more about the course. This will be just a heads up. This will probably be the longest video that I send out as far as like weekly videos are concerned, just because there's a lot to cover in the first week. So bear with me here, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it okay. So again, I'm your instructor. I'm John Chansey. I'm a third-year adjunct instructor here at OSU OKC. Prior to that, prior to being an adjunct instructor, I taught high school psychology, AP, and on-level psychology for 3 years at Putnam City North High School in Northwest Oklahoma City. While I was teaching at Putnam City North, I was also working on my master's degree in secondary education with UCO, the University of Central Oklahoma. I studied, for my master's research, I studied mindfulness meditation and its impact on students' perceived stress. So I got to run some research at my school with some of the students at our school to see if we could lower their stress by teaching them the skills of meditation. And that was really fun. So, before that, I got my undergraduate degree in psychology at the University of Oklahoma. I worked for a semester at a brief internship in Griffin Memorial Hospital, the last state-run mental health facility. I'm just trying to give you kind of my background in psychology. And then now, currently, I'm a PhD student at the University of Oklahoma, full-time student in my third year at OU. And I'm studying educational psychology. And again, my areas of interest primarily are in mindfulness meditation. Now I'm sort of exploring using meditation to facilitate other, variables related to education, like motivation, transformative experiences, conceptual change, things like that. So I'm a full-time student at OU. Like many of you, I'm a full-time student, so I can empathize with you there. I'm a research assistant, a teaching assistant for a stats course as well. So like you, I've got a lot on my plate, so I can definitely empathize there. I'll try my best to empathize and, juggling a lot of things at once. So, but that's really enough about me. I want to talk more about the course, which I think is far more important and more interesting than me. The course, of course, is Introductory Psychology. So you probably knew that because you logged into your D2L and saw it there. But anyways, Intro Psych, for a lot of people, is just one of those required courses. Hey, I've got to take it. My major requires that I take Psych or Soc or both. And that's great. I had to do that. I was a film major originally, and that's what I had to do. And that was my first exposure to psychology, so I get it. But I'm hoping that even if it's just a requirement that you're just trying to get through, get your A and get out, or get your grade and get out, that there's some big picture takeaways from this. I really hope this will give you some insight into yourself as a person, how you think and how you behave. Maybe it'll give you some insight into that. But I think there's a larger sort of big picture question involved with the study of psychology. And that is, sort of what it means to be human. Well, hopefully by the end of this chapter, I want you to be able to walk away and have a better understanding and be able to answer that question. Well, what does it mean to be human? We're at the top of the top of the food chain as far as species are concerned. We're the most advanced in terms of our cognition. What does that mean? We're not, but I think it means a lot of things. It's very complicated to be human. We're flawed organisms. We're not perfect, even though we might be at the top of the food chain. We're not perfect. And, it's just a really interesting experience, I think. And so I hope you have a better idea of what it means to be human, after this is all said and done. This course is just sort of a broad sort of overview of psychology. We're not going to spend a ton of time on one particular topic, but we're going to spend, briefly on a lot of different topics. So it'll give you a nice idea of what is studied in this, the subject of psychology. So now what I'd like to do is, if you don't mind, go ahead and log into D2L if you aren't already. It should be online at oakstate.edu. Lucky you folks, this is the last semester that OSU OKC is using D2L. So if you're struggling with getting used to it, bad news is that we're moving on to something else. Canvas next semester, so got to relearn another learning management system. But hey, if you didn't like D2L, then good news. Hey, we're getting a new one. I've had D2L for a long time, so I'm kind of it is what it is. So if you pull up under the course, the first thing you should see is a note that I left for the textbook that you'll need to purchase for this course. A link you should find. It's the 5th edition of the Spencer Rathis Introductory Psychology textbook. I posted a link to Amazon, but by no means I'm not saying you need to purchase from Amazon. In fact, I actually recommend buy it from the OSU OKC library or bookstore. I just posted the Amazon link because that's just the easiest way for to find it and see what it looks like. So if our textbook shop doesn't have it, then by all means find it elsewhere. But I posted that link not because I'm promoting Amazon or anything like that. I just was easy to find. The most important thing you want to do is go up to the top where it says content. Should be next to my course or next to course home and between course home and discussions. Click on content, and this has all of the content. Not all of it's posted yet, but it has all of it broken down by week for the course. So you'll want to click on week 1 because that's where we're at. And the first thing I want to bring to your attention, of course, is our schedule. If you go down, it says online 2019 schedule. This is a schedule of all the dates of when discussion posts are due, when your response papers are due. I'm going to talk about both of those things in a little bit. When exams are going to be posted, all of those things are listed here on the schedule. Be aware that the schedule is subject to change, but we're an online class. I highly doubt it changes at all. We're not subject to school closures. If there's bad weather, our schedule stays the same. So don't expect many changes unless there's something crazy happens, that I can't foresee at the moment. If you go back to content, I also want you to pull up the syllabus. It's under Spring 2019 online intro syllabus. Again, I'm not going to go over this word for word verbatim, but you are in fact responsible for reading this, or for reading the syllabus. Our course number is 20493. You may need that later on. You can contact me at john.b.chancey@oakstate.edu. I don't have office hours, but I'm willing to meet either on campus or via Skype, if we need to meet, if email doesn't work out. The textbook's listed, the Rathis text. I think total we have 700 points in this course. You're probably interested in the point breakdown. We have 4 exams that are worth 100 points each. We have 8 sort of individual writing assignments called response papers. I'll talk about those in a moment. They're worth 15 points apiece. So you'll have one about every other week. You'll also need to find a scholarly article towards the end of the semester, anything related to psychology, and provide a brief overview of that. Again, I'll talk about that in a moment. It's worth 60 points. And then you'll have 8 discussions throughout the course that are worth 15 points apiece. You'll get 5 points for your initial post and 10 points for responding to 2 peers, so 5 points each there. Again, go through the syllabus. It talks about everything you're going to need to know. I'm not going to go over this word for word because, we're all adults here, and I trust that you can read through this yourself. But know that, again, you are responsible for the course information in the syllabus. Let's see, what else do I want to cover? Okay, thinking about the syllabus, let's talk about discussion posts. Most weeks, about every other week, you're going to have a discussion post. I'm going to post some kind of topic of discussion or a question or something I want you to think about, or a video I want you to watch and think about, and you will be asked to respond to that, you'll be asked to respond to the post and then also respond to 2 of your peers. Now, in the past, I've had a lot of trouble where some students, will wait until, typically I have these assignments are due on Friday. I'll post it on like Sunday, it's due the following Friday. And I've noticed in the past that a lot of students will wait until Friday. They'll post their original post and they will respond to 2 peers like on the last minute on Friday. And, I understand that's fine if you're busy, you've got your schedule, but I also notice that kind of stifles the conversation that I'm trying to promote with these discussion posts. It doesn't give enough people enough time to really think and reflect and digest the information and engage in a back and forth kind of discussion. So, I want your initial post in by on Wednesdays, and your peer responses by Friday. So you get your initial post on Wednesday, and then go through between Wednesday and Friday, read some posts, and then go back and respond to it. If you don't get your initial post in by Wednesday, you will be subject to a 2-point deduction. And all that means is that you get about an 89 on the discussion post. In order to give you a full A, I want you to be participating in a timely manner and also following the guidelines. So if you go to content under week 1, I also have a guideline for discussion handout, and this is basically illustrating what I'm expecting for your discussion posts. In your initial post, I'm looking for at least 2 paragraphs, and that's 4 sentences per paragraph of discussion. I mean, that's just the minimum on some of these posts. I want your peer responses. I don't want you just to say, hey, good job, thanks for sharing, I liked that, cool. Well, if you liked it, talk about why. Maybe it reminded you of something personal that, you can relate to. Or, I want you to do things like asking for clarification if it doesn't make sense. Ask or provide your own examples. Ask for advice or try to build upon. We're trying to make a discussion here. Give substantive comments beyond just, hey, nice post, thanks for sharing. Because that will not get you much in terms of points. And also, your responses, oftentimes I'm going to grade your peer responses in terms of like the length of the response. So if you respond like 2 sentences, hey, good job, I like the post, I'm going to give you like 2 points out of 5 for that. If you give a full paragraph that's adding to the discussion and the conversation, then you're going to get your full 5 points. So just know that if you see points being deducted from your post, it either means you didn't get your post in on time, or it means they're not long enough, they're not substantive enough, they're not pushing the conversation forward. So I will give you feedback as that goes along, but just be aware that's kind of what I'm grading for. The next item I want to talk about reading my little note card I had here, is response papers. These are individual assignments. Discussion posts are kind of like our group assignment, how we interact together. But response papers are an individual activity that I want you to complete on your own. I have a handout called response paper directions, and essentially what about every other week, because I'm assigning 8 of these, I'm going to give you a video or article or something to read or watch or reflect upon, and you'll have to answer 3 reflective questions. Those questions are summarize what you just saw or what you just read. So just broadly, in a paragraph or 2, tell me what you just saw. Next, tell me something that you found interesting about it. Anything at all. Hey, I thought this was really interesting and here's why. Again, please elaborate. Don't just say this is interesting and that's it. And then finally, tell me an example how you've noticed this in your own experiences. How you've seen something from the video or something from the reading you can apply to your own experience. Because I think that's really where learning takes place is, we can read a textbook and have information spat at us all day long, but the most meaningful learning takes place when we can connect that stuff that we learn in class and connect it to our own personal experiences and relate to it in a meaningful way. That's how we truly learn. So I want you to be able to show me that you can connect and say, oh, I understand what this means, and here's how it's applicable to my own experience. That's what I'm looking for. So for this first week, I've posted a short TED Talk video. It's called The 10 Myths About Psychology. And it's about, it really is. It's covering some very sort of famous myths that you may or may not have heard or you may be familiar with. I want you to watch this video and complete your first response paper by next Sunday. So you have a little over a week to do that. You have about a week to do so. Watch the video and respond to the 3 questions. You can find the handout. If you see under D2L Content 1, Response Paper 1, this is where you will upload your assignment here. Upload your assignment here. We'll have about 8 of these. So about every other week, I'll post a video, post an article, post something like that. So that is due on Sunday. I already have your first initial discussion post up. I want your initial post by Wednesday, your follow-up post by Friday. For this week's first post, I want you to introduce yourself, tell us about who you are, your major, anything interesting about you you'd like to share. And also, please share a picture, a recent photo, an appropriate recent photo of yourself. That way we can just see. We know. Oh, I know who you know who John is, and you know who Terry and Amanda and Mark and everyone is in the class. Actually, I have no idea. I'm making these names up off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but I just want us to be able to go. Okay, yeah, I know who that face is. It's kind of weird just staring at blank or text walls of discussion posts and having no idea who it really is. So I want you to do that. And your homework assignment also is to, for this week's discussion post, is to find somebody in your community who is who is actively practicing psychology. This could be somebody who is working for a school district. This could be a counselor. This could be a psychiatrist. This could be anybody who is working in the field of psychology. And so there's some questions I want you to respond to, but I won't go over all those right now for the sake of time. You can read those questions and all that, but just know that is due. Your initial post is due by Wednesday. The follow-up peer responses are due by Friday. A few more things before we wrap up. It is vitally important that you have access to your OSU OKC email address, either on your mobile device or your laptop, or some way of accessing it, because I'm going to be sending these videos via email. I'm going to be sending out assignments via email, things like that. So if you don't have access to that, you're not going to be able to. It's going to be a lot harder for you to stay involved with the course. So I have posted a link under week one's content where you can add your email address to your mobile device or your laptop or whatever. So please, if you haven't done so, you are responsible for being in contact via email. I know this is like, for some, introductory psychology, maybe this is your first class or first experience of taking a college course, but please be aware that you are responsible for checking your email. Let's see. So what I want you also to do for this week is to read chapter 1. Get your copy of the Rathis text and read chapter 1. I have already recorded some video lectures of chapter 1 where I've gone through the PowerPoint and walked through it. I'm going to post those, so by the time you actually see this video, they're already posted. But these videos are not to replace the reading. You need to read the chapter, and also I would recommend watching the recorded lecture videos that I'm going to post as well. But by no means are the lecture videos or the PowerPoints intended to replace reading the text. The tests I'm going to give you, the information covered in the exams, for example, I'm going to be expecting a much greater level of detail than what's covered in the PowerPoint. So please be aware. Watch the lecture videos I post and read the chapter as well. So for this week, read chapter 1 and watch the chapter 1 videos I post. Response paper, your first response paper over the 10 myths about psychology is due on Sunday. So I think, you're going to probably see this on a Sunday or Monday. It's due the following Sunday. Your first discussion post, initial post is due by Wednesday. Your peer response is due by Friday. Actually, since it's Martin Luther King Day on Monday, if you need an extra day, I won't count off if you post on Thursday, but only because we have a short week this week. That's okay. I won't hold that against you. But anyways, I feel like I just talked a lot. Most of these videos will be a lot shorter, probably like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at most. So I talked a lot, so I'm going to stop talking and let you get to introductory psychology. Again, I'm your host, your instructor, John Chansey, and I'm very excited about the semester. I love teaching this course. I try to find ways to improve it each semester, and so hopefully this rendition of the course is even better than the last time I taught it. I definitely can say that since I'm not going to be dealing with back pain, it will most certainly be a lot better, hopefully for your end and on my end. So anyways, let's wrap up here, and I'll see you all next week. Okay, take care.